So I'm an economist. We practice strict hypothetico-deductive science. So I'm testing the hypothesis as to whether even a 60-second economics lecture can put you to sleep. In 2008, the world turned, and scholars as well, their attention to the financial sector, which brought down the world economy and which was the cause for recession, austerity, and great social difficulty. I looked the other way, which is that I looked at the production structure as opposed to the financial structure of the world economy. And what I focused on in my research, my project has been to look at the way that globalized production has affected economic security and income equality. And I looked at the way that production has evolved into a very fragmented process, whereby the typical consumer electronics product requires inputs from 20 different countries. The typical piece of apparel requires inputs from multiple countries. And this has great implications for the way international trade takes place, the way it's governed, and even for the theory of international trade, which I won't get into here, but it has overturned the traditional theory of comparative advantage. What we find in our research is some great gains in some places as a result of this fragmentation process. Fragmentation has helped certain Chinese sectors really get started and then take off. But it has also weakened many countries. And what we find in our research is that this globalization of production has contributed enormously to global insecurity. And it has contributed to increase in the profit share in both rich countries and poor countries, contrary to the theory of international trade, which talked about much more symmetric distribution of gains. Now, this great book by Thomas Piketty, Capital in the 21st Century, has focused on finance. It has focused on inherited wealth. It's focused on wealth. My research shows that there are also deep roots of the inequality problem that we face today, historic levels of inequality in the global structure of production, what we call global value chains. And so the question is Rana Plaza a game changer for labor standards? And Rana Plaza is a location in Dhaka, Bangladesh, where over 1,200 people died last year as the result of a sourcing strategy by lead firms, many based in this country, in which the supply chain is very fragmented to the point where subcontractors subcontracted further subcontractors, and there is no accountability. And what we find then is a governance structure that is simply unable to deal with problems like you see in this slide, which was a devastating problem that shouldn't be happening in 2013. And so the question is, has Rana Plaza changed the game for the way we think about global production and the way we think about the structure of supply chains? And the answer is that the response has been corporate social responsibility. Accord and alliance consortia of firms have gotten together. They have not solved the problem. The problem is much bigger than that. And the problem goes way beyond economics. Of course, economics, to stop, is immediately raises ethical issues, and it is, in a more immediate sense, political. And so my project is called Outsourcing Economics, which refers to the fact that I'm interested in the process of outsourcing and subcontracting, but to the critique of the economics profession, because it has outsourced really the responsibility to explain problems of globalization. And what we need to do is to draw on a much broader set of knowledges outside of economics, in politics, sociology, a variety of other, design as well, other professions. And this is the kind of economics that we try to do at the New School. Thank you very much.